Welcome everybody, gather round. It's time for another game review. I'm here with my trusty AI robot friend Belvedere.
Greetings. Is this the game you'd like to review, sir?
Yes, that's the one.
Loading now. You had the black pieces, and our opponent opened with E4.
Then what?
You played D6, the perk defense.
It's pronounced Pierce.
It is when you can play it correctly, sir.
Yeah, fair point.
Our opponent takes the center with D4. You play Knight F6, attacking their E-pawn. They do not defend. You do capture on E4. And now they attack your knight with Bishop D3. You go back with Knight F6. Our opponent castles short. You play G6, preparing to fianchetto the bishop.
Ah, you know me well.
I understand many complex topics, sir, as well as your chess strategy.
Yes. Hey.
Our opponent plays C4. You play Bishop G7. Our opponent brings their second knight. You play C5. Our pawn is taken. And you recapture with D takes C5. They respond with Bishop F4. You play Knight C6. Our opponent moves their knight to B5. You castled your king to safety.
Just in time, if I remember rightly.
Yes, sir. They play Knight C7, which would have won them a rook. You move your rook to B8. Here they play Knight E6.
It looked like a free knight, so I took it.
They opened a discovered attack on your rook, and took it.
Well, a rook for a bishop and a knight. I was happy with that.
Rightly so, sir. You are creating more threats in this position. Our opponent activates their rook to E1. You play Knight G4, opening a discovered attack with your fianchettoed bishop. Our opponent notices and defends with rook to B1. You played Knight C to E5. They captured your knight. You recapture with the bishop. They protect their king for now with G6, but weaken the light squares in front of their king. So far, sir, I'm quite impressed. You've not done anything hilariously predictable.
Keeping you on your toes, you see.
You play Rook D8, pinning their bishop to their queen. They evade with Queen E2. You centralize our queen to D6. They react with Rook B to D1. And there it is. You backed off your attack a little early here with Queen B6. Bishop D4 would have maintained the pressure, sir.
Yes, I see. Good point, well made.
Here our opponent attacks your knight with H3. And you defended it with a pawn. Had you experienced a severe concussion at this point in the game, sir?
Well, I thought they'd take me, which they did, and I recaptured with bishop takes G4, skewering their queen and rook. And I thought, even if they take my unprotected bishop, which they did, I'd at least win a rook.
And then lose your other bishop to rook takes D1.
Well, it gets worse, I'm afraid. I thought B2 was a free pawn, and took it.
I wonder how you managed to dress yourself sometimes, sir.
Yes, well, it's all jolly good fun.
Our opponent captured our queen, and has turned the game completely around, capitalizing on your embarrassing and avoidable mistakes. Did you resign the game here, sir?
Resign? Goodness no. My mama didn't raise no quitter. I played on. B6 to save a pawn. They played Queen A3. I played A5 to save my A pawn. They again attacked my B pawn, and I again defended.
I admire your resilience, sir. I see our opponent played Queen B3. and you brought the king forward. Here, they sacrificed their queen for a pawn and a rook. But still, sir, from this position, you cannot hope to win.
One can always hope, Belly, dear friend. I played King H6. My opponent targets my isolated pawns. I played E5. They took a pawn. I played E4.
But sir, you are just giving away pieces now. I believe inferior emotionally erratic beings refer to this as being on tilt.
Oh, ye of little faith, look, they took my pawn, I offered another, they took that too, I offered yet another, and thricely my pawns vacated the field. I attacked their rook, they took a fourth pawn in a row, and so I offered up my last pawn, my final soldier, my ultimate warrior. They pushed their c-pawn, and I used this chance to get my king past their control of the 5th rank. They pushed on to c6, and I played king g4. They continued with c7, and I offered my ultimate warrior again, and they took it.
I don't see how this helped in achieving victory, sir.
Victory? Goodness no, I focused on a stalemate. Just to not lose here would be a glorious achievement. And here, after I play king takes h4, if our opponent promotes to a queen, I'll have no legal moves.
That would indeed be a glorious achievement, sir. But how did our opponent respond?
Well, they promoted to a queen and stalemated me. As I said, my friend, one can always hope.
Fascinating, sir.
And so all that remains is to tip my hat to my opponents and our brothers and sisters in Vietnam. Thank chess.com for being jolly good sports. Put the kettle on, then play chess.